have to wear gloves as often because we know that I don't like getting my hands dirty. But usually like the only contact that my actual hands have with the soil is if I'm like removing the roots from soil, like tickling the roots, or patting it down, which is like pretty minimal in my opinion. Like I feel like my hands would mostly get dirty with the grabbing it out of the bag and then pouring it in. I don't know. I noticed that it helps keep my hands clean, so I enjoy it. All right, one plant all done. She looks really cute in this pot. I love it. It's like a match made in heaven. I need to remove the price tag. $2 for this pot. Can't beat a deal like that. That's so good. Before we get a little bit further into the repotting, I want to take a moment to talk about Bellway because I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I know that it's kind of nerdy, but I think that fiber is so incredibly important, and Bellway makes adding fiber into your diet really, really easy. Actually, one of my very, very best friends is a dietitian, and she told me that fiber is seriously one of the most important parts of your diet, and it is so, so easily overlooked. So when Bellway reached out, I was like, yeah, I need to take this because this is a really, really good thing. And also one of my favorite lifestyle influencers has a degree in nutrition, and she also talks about Bellway, so I just knew that it was amazing. So with that, the supplement comes in the form of a powder, which is really easy to add into water or just any drink, and also I like to put it in my smoothies because I already have smoothies almost every single day. So it's just a really great way to sort of like alter a habit that I already have. The supplement is made with a super fiber called psyllium husk, and it helps, you know, keep your gut healthy. It helps with bloating, breakouts, and of course, keeping you regular, if you know what I mean. Super important to stay regular. I know it's kind of awkward, but it's definitely an extremely important part of nutrition. So just a few facts about Bellway is that it is paleo friendly, gluten-free, contains 0 sugar, keto, organic, all natural, and you can take it 1 to 3 times a day. And that is like a scoop 1 to 3 times a day. The serving size is 1 scoop. So if you are interested in checking out Bellway, I highly suggest it, of course. You can head over to the link down in the description box below and use the code BECCA20 on your first order. You can use FSA or HSA on Bellway. It's also available in select Target locations and on Amazon. Let's talk about what the next plant is going to be. I think I'm going to do this guy. This little cutie. I'm excited to repot this one. I think I'm just gonna do another one of these pots because I don't think that the root system is very big, so I don't want to overload it, obviously. I'm probably gonna also take off a lot of the old soil. I asked you guys what you wanted me to talk about, and thank God you came through with some topics because I was kind of like, what are we gonna chat about? But somebody asked, how has your plant parenthood changed over the years? Which I think is such a great question, and definitely one that I can dive into. I feel like a lot of plant parents sort of take on the same journey, like similar journeys at least. Like you have like when you first start owning plants, you're like really excited, so you buy a bunch of things and you're not necessarily thinking about, I don't know, what it needs or how healthy it is. You're just seeing a plant and you're like, I want it. And I feel like that's sort of the journey that I'm going through with outdoor gardening because it's a whole new section of plants that I've never been exposed to or seen or whatever, you know. I'm just learning about all these new plants and I'm so intrigued by them. But the most research that I've done, which is definitely more than I did with houseplants in the beginning, is, you know, what zone do they do best in? And thankfully I live in a zone where basically everything grows here. Like I live in the South America of outdoor gardening. Like, you know how like all houseplants grow really well in South America because that's where they're endemic to? It's kind of similar for me here. I mean, these plants that I'm planting are not endemic to Missouri, but what I'm saying is this environment really fosters them well. So yeah, that's a really, really positive thing. So I feel like I'm gonna have less, oops, I just heard something crack. I feel like I'm gonna have less hiccups because, well, I feel like it's a bit much, but I feel like I'm gonna have less hiccups because my environment is just like perfect for the types of plants that I'm planting. So that helps. So I can definitely see, oh, there was the crack. This leaf fell off. Darn it. We almost made it with no casualties. I feel like I'm being wiser with my outdoor plant acquisition than I was at the beginning with my indoor plant acquisition, because I would see something I liked and just buy it. And sometimes it worked out. Like for example, you can kind of see it, my Albo Syngonium. I didn't really know much about the plant, but I knew that it was gaining a little bit of popularity, but it wasn't like the it plant. It became the it plant soon after I bought it, but honestly, I wasn't really thinking too much about anything when I bought it. I was just like, oh, it's pretty, let's get it. I was super irresponsible financially in the beginning, and as time has gone on, I don't want to say the excitement for plants has dimmed down, because it hasn't. I'm still like really excited for plants, but I'm definitely just like way more mature about the way that I go about acquiring them. I have more of a long-term mindset, like, okay, I don't need to get this plant right this second, I can get it later. Whereas before I was very, very short term, like I like this plant now and I want it now. And definitely I've grown out of that, which I'm very thankful for. My wallet is also thankful for that. Probably my marriage is very thankful for that. So if you're currently in that sort of a state where you're just like, I want to buy it all, maybe take a breather. Just take a second and like think about these purchases. The next plant I'm going to repot is this one. This is a Syngonium rayi or something like that. But the roots are actually growing out of the bottom, which I'm just now noticing. So I'm gonna wait to see what the root system looks like before I decide on the pot. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, the root system's not super developed. So we should be okay to put it in probably like a 4-inch pot. But yeah, that's pretty much the root ball we got. Looks pretty good. And the soil that it was in is not bad. Like it's, I got this plant from Helmy's Garden Center here in town. Somebody asked me to talk about my thoughts on people buying plants to resell as cuttings and make a profit. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've done that before. And it was before, like, it was before everybody was doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like the original, like, lame person who does that. I only did it one time, and I did feel kind of icky doing it. But the thing was, I purchased the plant, and I didn't need the whole thing. So I was like, I'm just gonna cut this. Like, I'm just gonna, like, divide this plant and give it to people and sell some pieces. It was a whale fin, big pot of whale fin that I purchased from a local nursery in Tucson. I'm okay with sharing this with you guys because people grow and people learn. Buying a single plant and dividing it up and like giving it away and selling part of it might be different than going and buying like every single Scindapsus like moonlight in the store, which I have seen people do. But then again, I'm not gonna say that I'm like better than these people, because at one point I did do something similar. So here's what I say about it. I hope that those people learn that that's just like really lame and stop doing it eventually. You know, I figured that out and I stopped doing it. Well, I only did it once, but you know what I mean? Like, hopefully they will figure it out that that's pretty lame, and it takes away opportunities for people to like buy a plant accessibly. It takes away accessibility, you know, which I think is a really big issue with plants right now, is that it's turning into an expensive hobby. I just got dirt everywhere, which I think that it's like totally lame that it would be considered an expensive hobby because they're plants. And yeah, I mean, some plants are very expensive, so like obviously you can choose what level of like plants you want to buy. You have agency in that. But like, what if you want one of those more expensive plants? Like, it's pretty much impossible for some people. Like, if you have a family, if you have, you know, student loans, or, you know, if you're just like a normal person, there's a lot of plants that you just cannot have, which is sad to me. So I think that having a community of people where you can trade plants with each other, you know, like we know I have my little micro community and Adam and Nicole, and we have traded among us like some pretty expensive plants. To me, it just feels very normal to do that. You know, I'm not gonna do that with everybody on the internet because like I don't have enough plants to do that. But I think that it's important to create little micro communities within the greater plant community to have in relationships where you can do that, to help these plants become more accessible. And then, you know, I've given cuttings of plants that Adam gave me or Nicole gave me to other people who didn't have access to that plant or like couldn't find it or whatever, for whatever reason they didn't have